Hey guys, it's Sandrell Nicole Hill, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you guys some of the supplements that I have been taking ever since I've had surgery, and I'm going to tell you guys how they affect me. And maybe you guys have taken some of these supplements that I'm about to mention, maybe you haven't, but in any case I hope you find this video helpful, and I hope you guys give them a try. I only have 4 supplements that I'm going to mention today because these are the ones that I have found that have consistently worked the best for me. And so without further ado, let me go ahead and get into these supplements. First of all, I do want to mention that each and every one of these supplements have a toning effect on my uterus. I found that when I've taken these supplements during the times that I did take them, they kind of tone the way that I was feeling. So let me back up. Okay, so ever since I've had surgery, I had surgery last year, that was August 2021. And ever since I had surgery, my diet hasn't been 100% awesome, but I have found a balance. I found a balance, so sometimes I eat some of the foods that I want to eat, and I try to balance that out with the foods that I know I should be eating. So lots of fruit, lots of raw fruit, lots of smoothies, lots of veggies and raw veggies and things of that nature. But my diet hasn't been the greatest, and ladies, I'm sure you can feel me on this. When your diet is not the greatest, then it is going to show up on your skin. It's going to show up in your menstrual cycle, which is why a lot of women start to tone their eating, or they start to dial back their eating from the bad stuff when their time of the month is getting ready to come on. So tip guys, if you don't know, before you're getting ready to start your cycle, if you know that you haven't been eating well for the whole month and then you're getting ready to start your cycle, I'd say a week before you start your cycle, start to eat more raw fruit and veggies. I would even say go plant-based the week before, maybe a week or 2 before your cycle start, and it will be so much better for you. You're gonna have so much better cycles, as far as the cramping goes, as far as probably even the bleeding goes, but definitely the cramps. So if you're someone who struggles with heavy cramping, and you've never given that a try, then maybe a week or 2 before you start your cycle, then go plant-based, and that should help you. Anyway, okay, so let's get back to the video. So okay, all that to say, my diet hasn't been all that great after I've had surgery, because 6 years of eating nothing but raw, almost raw, nothing but plant-based foods. And don't get me wrong, I love the diet, but sometimes I have missed some of the things that I love to eat while I was healing from fibroids, such as chicken, such as fish, such as turkey, and things of that nature. But when I had surgery, well, I went a little crazy. I started eating pretty much anything I wanted, but I would still, have a balance, because 6 years of eating nothing but raw or plant-based foods, it's second nature now to balance. So if I eat a burger or something, I'm like, okay, tomorrow I'll dry fast, or I'll eat nothing but raw fruit and veggies. Anyway, so all that to say, during my time of the months, even though the fibroids are gone, even though I had surgery for the fibroids, I would still have a little bit of cramps, but they would never be awful. The cramps would probably be, if I had to put it on a scale of 1 to 10, how painful the cramps would be, it never got beyond a 4. As far as maybe a 5, it never got beyond a 5, but still the cramps were there. The overall bloating, the just general discomfort. So that's what I mean. So ladies, if you're eating really crappy before that time of the month, then you're gonna feel it. You're gonna see it in your cycles. So now that I've laid the groundwork of saying all that stuff, let me get to my very first product. All of these products have really helped during that time of the month when I wasn't feeling oh so great. I wasn't feeling nearly as terrible as I was feeling before I had surgery, but still, no woman wants any type of cramps, any type of discomfort. It's not a fun feeling to have. So the first supplement that I'm going to mention that really helped me during that time of the month, and even when I wasn't on my period, is this supplement right here. I hope you guys can see that, but if you can't, then I'll have a video down below. So this is the Dr. Morse Cellular Botanicals Female Reproductive Tonic. So he has the capsules and he also has the tincture for it, but I end up getting the capsules. So, you know, when you take tincture, that's the liquid form that you put typically under your tongue and hold it for a few seconds before swallowing. It goes right into your bloodstream. But when you take the capsules, then that means that, you know, you swallow it and your gut has to break it down and use it that way. Anyway, all that to say, so I absolutely love this. This is, out of all the supplements that I've ever taken that I didn't make, this is definitely up there as far as its effectiveness on the reproductive system, because there was a time I can remember this was before I started my period. So even before I started my period, I could feel cramps. So I could feel just mild cramps, but probably about a week before I start my cycle, I know my cycle is coming, because a week before I start my cycle, if I've been a naughty girl with my diet, then I will have some mild cramps. This knocks it right on out. I mean, it's just great. So even sometimes I might have a little bit of brownage before I start my cycle. And I think, ladies, you might know what I mean by that. So, you know, the vagina has a normal discharge and it's clear. But sometimes before you're getting ready to start your cycle, you may spot, or you may have the discharge that's normal, that's normally clear. It may be tinged with brown. So that happens to me sometimes. And this right here, all that to say, this stuff right here, it helps to combat all of that. It helps to combat PMS. It helps to kind of balance my mood so that my mood is more calm, and it helps to it has an overall toning effect on my uterus. All of the products I'm going to mention, I'm going to say the same thing about all of them, because they all have a toning effect on the uterus. But this one definitely has a toning effect on the uterus. And during my cycle, when I take this, I notice that I have a happier period. As far as my cycles go, the first day is usually the heaviest. The first 2 days is usually the heaviest, with the first day definitely being the heaviest. So when I take this, even on the first day, it helps with the bleeding, the amount of bleeding, and it definitely helps with the cramps. So this is a great supplement to take, whether you're on your cycle or you're not on your cycle, whether you've had surgery for fibroids or whether you're still battling fibroids naturally. This is a great supplement to have. It's all of the things in it. It has the chaste tree berry, which is Vitex, the black hallbark, blue cohosh root, squaw vine herb. Some of these things I've never heard of in my life. The privé berry, wild yam root, red raspberry leaf, damiana leaf, and suma root. I've heard of quite a bit of these things, but so this has all of these things, and all of these herbs are, they play a really, I mean, they work really well together in strengthening and detoxing the female reproductive system. So this stuff right here, very good. I would recommend that you guys get some and add it to your collection of herbs. So I love this stuff. Next on the list is Vitex. Vitex, or chasteberry. Every woman who has fibroids probably know about this herb right here. Vitex is, for me, has been a godsend. I didn't really start taking a whole lot of supplements and herbs after I had surgery, because I was just kind of, you know, letting my body do what it do, let it heal, before I start introducing a whole lot of herbs and supplements into it. So I would say about maybe six to 7 months after I had surgery, I started taking herbs and supplements again. And this is one of the herbs that I started taking. Vitex is just one of those staples in the female reproductive system. So if you have fibroids, or you know someone who had fibroids, then Vitex is probably something that we should be using. So Vitex helps to strengthen the reproductive system as a whole. It helps to rebuild it. It helps to rebuild tissue in the uterus, in the endometrium, in the ovaries. It helps to clean, strengthen, and regenerate the entire reproductive system of women. So this is one of those supplements that if you have fibroids or if you've had surgery, then you don't want to be without. And not only does it help with the female reproductive system, it helps with your mammary glands as well. It's just like the Robert Morse supplement helped to kind of have a toning effect on the uterus. This Vitex has really helped to have a toning effect on my uterus as well. So before my periods, I would take it before my cycles as well. And once I start feeling those cramps come on, because some months the cramps would be just kind of unreal. I'm like, hold on now, you know, I've had surgery. This should not be happening. This is why we take care of ourselves, ladies. But anyway, so, but whenever I would feel those cramps, because I don't know if anyone is like me, but I would get like these sharp pains along the right side. It kind of feels like where I would imagine my fallopian tube would be, in my pelvic area. I would get some sharp pains there. But I would pop a couple of tablets of the Vitex and the pain would just disappear. So I don't know if it was me ovulating, and I don't know if you guys have had similar experiences where you get a sharp pain. I would get the sharp pain, it will always be along the right side of my pelvic area, where I would imagine my right fallopian tube would be. But if you've had a similar experience, then, you know, comment below, let me know, so I know that I'm not alone. I swear, women, ladies, we go through so much. So anyway, pop a couple of capsules of Vitex, and next thing you know, poof, it's gone. And as far as how Vitex help with my cycles, I made a video about I actually made these capsules, and I made a video where I show you guys how I make the capsules, but I also break down how Vitex really helped me when I was having menstrual cycles and when I was having cramps. So Vitex was just, yeah. I had someone tell me on that video, the video I made when I was making capsules of Vitex, they were just saying that Vitex actually wasn't all that great for them. It wasn't working for them. And I'm not sure, you know, everyone is different. Everyone's usage of Vitex is different. And so, you know, she was just saying how Vitex actually made her bleed more, and how, you know, there are other issues of your body that you need to address when you have fibroids, and this is absolutely true. So I would recommend that with Vitex, of course, you start off with a low dosage and then increase it. Just monitor your body and see how, you know, the Vitex is affecting you. But, you know, everybody's different. But for me, this was a godsend. So when I was having bad periods, or bad for me, and especially bad, you know, after I've had a myomectomy, bad for me, then Vitex really did help to balance those hormones. And just like the Dr. Moore supplement, Vitex had a really calming effect on my mood. So I wasn't just, you know, and I was going through a lot these months too, because I don't know if you guys know, but I'm in school. You know, I have a lot going on, and so you know, there's a recipe for getting stressed out. It's a recipe for disaster, honestly. But I found that whenever I would take Vitex, my mood was calm, even during that time of the month. And so, I mean, of course, I've been fasting and praying. It has a calming effect on your mood as well. But I just noticed that with me taking Vitex, you know, my mood was calm. And one thing that I've noticed as well is that my hair has been growing like crazy. Everybody has noticed that my hair has just seemingly just sprouted out within the past 5 to 6 months, which is how long I've been taking the Vitex. And upon further research, I have discovered that Vitex not only plays a major role in toning the female reproductive system, but also the hormones that it balances, the estradiol, the estrogen, the progesterone, things of that nature. So as it balances those hormones actually play a role in hair growth. So ladies, if you know you've nothing else, because we all know that fibroids can cause anemia, and anemia can lead to brittle hair, hair breakage, hair loss, things of that nature, take you some Vitex. Start taking some Vitex. So not only will it help you in your, you know, in your lady parts area, it also helps strengthen your hair and help your hair grow. What you need right here. So the next supplements that I'm going to mention is White Pond Lily. White Pond Lily has become my absolute favorite supplement to take, okay? I mean, this stuff right here, this stuff right here, this stuff is, I mean, it's amazing. So I actually made this. I actually made these capsules as well. So the white pond lily, I only have 4. I only have 4 left out of this whole jar that I made. I mean, as far as what it does for the female reproductive system, this one does it all. It has a toning effect upon the uterus. I told you that was coming. This is another one of God's greatest cleansing herbs, especially for women. And like Vitex, it helps to remove toxicity from the uterus, from the fallopian tubes, from the ovaries. It cleanses the tissues in men and women's reproductive systems. It has pain relieving properties, and it's a big help even for cancerous conditions. So if you have uterine cancer, ovarian cancer, whatever type of cancer of the reproductive system, white pond lily is a great supplement to use if you are looking to for a more herbal solution. It also makes an excellent douche for cleansing the vaginal wall. So if you're someone who douches a lot, or if you do like yoni steaming, then this white pond lily, be sure to get you some, because yeah. And as I mentioned before, it strengthens the tissues in the men and women reproductive system. So men, if you, or women, if you know of someone with prostate cancer or prostate problems, white pond lily is great for that as well. I mean, this stuff right here, just, it does it all. I adore white pond lily. White pond lily, as I mentioned before, has a toning effect on the uterus, which I've experienced in taking it. I take it faithfully every day. Now, I've only been taking the white pond lily for about 2 months now, and it's just wonderful. So here's a story. My recent cycle, I noticed that I was having some cramps, and so I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, as far as the pain level goes, it was probably like a 4. Again, the cramps that I have normally don't get past a 5, but it was like a 4. I popped some of this white pond lily. I took about 3 capsules. Pain gone. Within about maybe 30 minutes, pain was gone, completely gone. So if you guys are having painful periods, then give white pond lily a try. So if you are having some painful periods or some heavy bleeding, just give these tips a try. I would say about a week or 2 before you start your cycle, try some of these supplements and clean up your diet. I would say go plant-based for a week or 2, and you definitely will notice a difference. Trust me. So that's white pond lily. Okay, so the 4th and last herbal supplement that I'm going to mention is something that's near and dear to my heart. I love this supplement, and ever since I've been taking it, I have fallen in love with it. I've had this supplement in other period blends, but I've never had it by itself. I've never isolated this herb by itself to see how it works on me, but I'm glad I did, and that supplement is none other than saw palmetto berry. Saw palmetto berry is another one of God's greatest herbal supplements for his people. Okay, saw palmetto is amazing for the endocrine system. So if you've been doing your studying on fibroids, then you know that fibroid is multifaceted. I mean, it not only affects your uterus, but you know, there are different areas of your body that may have gone wrong, which is probably contributing to the worsening of fibroid condition. One of them being gut issues, another one being your endocrine system, which is your hormones, which directly affect fibroids. And one thing that I have noticed, or one thing that I've discovered as far as my symptoms, every woman is different, but as far as my symptoms, I had some symptoms that sent me running to the internet to look up, you know, what part of my body is going wrong in order to cause these symptoms. And one of the symptoms that I've been having, I discovered that the part of my body that was going wrong to cause that symptom were my adrenal glands. Adrenal glands are part of your kidneys. They sit on top of your kidneys. They're like these little triangle sized glands that sit on top of your kidneys, and your adrenals are responsible for a lot. They're responsible for ovulation, they're responsible for fertility, and a host of other things. So if you know, before I had fibroids, I never really gave a thought to my hormone, my whole endocrine system, but it turns out your endocrine system is way more important than you think it is. And so you're going to need some herbs, you're going to need some supplements that's going to balance that endocrine system. that's going to keep you from breaking out. That's going to keep you keep your hormonal balance in check. So saw palmetto berry is amazing for your endocrine system. That would be your adrenal gland, the pancreas, the pituitary gland, thyroid, everything as it pertains to ovulation and fertility. Saw palmetto is the herb for you. Okay, so that's why I started taking it. I started taking it to help balance my hormones, especially my ovaries, to help increase fertility. So everyone who is having issues with their endocrine system, saw palmetto. Okay, now as far as periods, this right here, just like every supplement, just like every herb that I've mentioned so far, has a toning effect upon my uterus. But with saw palmetto, ladies and gents, it's going to increase your sex drive. So if you're someone who is struggling, I do remember when I was really going through with fibroids, it really affected my sex drive, you know, because when you have fibroids, it can make sex really uncomfortable. It can make sex painful, and it takes the fun, it takes the joy out of sex. So if you are still struggling with fibroids and you are having, you're finding that it's affecting your libido, then take some saw palmetto berry, and it's going to boost that sex drive right on up. And so that's why saw palmetto is amazing. I love this. This has been great. So not only does it help with my endocrine system, it helps to increase sex drive, which means, children. So all of these supplements have been my absolute favorite supplements to take ever since I've had surgery. I've been taking these things for the reasons I've said, in order to help combat fibroids, in order to balance my hormones, to keep fibroids from coming back, and to help me with my cycles as well. When I start to have a little bit of pain during my cycles, helps with the amount of bleeding that happens. Because we all know that, when you have surgery to remove fibroids, they just remove the fibroids, and which helps. Removing of the fibroids helps with your periods, but it doesn't do anything to fix the hormonal disharmony in your body. So that's why, these supplements, the saw palmetto, the white pond lily, the Vitex, all of these supplements help combat that. So now your body, if you have surgery, in my case, since I've had surgery, my body no longer has to struggle with balancing hormones while trying to push fibroids out, while trying to shrink fibroids. So now the fibroids are gone. So now my body can just focus on healing itself and balancing those hormones to keep fibroids from returning, to keep my skin clear, to keep me feeling good, looking and feeling good, I suppose. The power of herbal formulas, it's just unmatched. Like with this Dr. Morse's Cellular Botanicals, the female reproductive tonic, it's unmatched because it has, these herbs and supplements work great on their own, but when they're combined with other herbs and supplements that do different things, so when you combine the Vitex, the power of Vitex, with the saw palmetto goes to work on your endocrine system, while the Vitex helps to keep the uterus, and the all that goes with the uterus helps to keep the uterus in check, helps to tone it, helps to detox it, and the same with the white pond lily. Now when you combine that all together, then you get a herbal formula that is just great for your entire body, which is why I do recommend that you guys revisit that video of mine that I made, where I only made Vitex in the video, but this is how you can create some of your own period blends, some of your own supplements, so that you can make some of your own things that are tailored to you. So if you are someone who knows that you have heavy bleeding, you know that you struggle with a low sex drive, you know that you're having issues with your endocrine system, then you can take these herbs and supplements. You can leave Vitex out. You maybe can use white pond lily, maybe you can just use a saw palmetto, and just make your own supplement blend that way. So when you start to make your own, especially when it's tailored to you, based on you and what you need, then girl, you have just changed the game as far as your healing right there, because you're making something that's powerful, but it's tailored to you. So that's why I make my own supplements. Make your own period blends, ladies. Make your own herbal formulas, and You know, Godspeed to each and every one of you, to all of us, to get our healing and get our bodies back, you know, in check so they can start working the way that God created it to. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you found value in it. And if you guys have any questions, of course, drop it down in the comment box. If you guys want to see any other videos, let me know what other videos you want to see. Any questions, let me know. And until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.